Hello and welcome to episode 51 of my Salem tutorial series. This episode is going to be on us building a Finery Forge and a trip hammer. Then we are going to make our first bar of wrought iron. We'll also need to make a pair of tongs. But before all of that, first of all, let's show you how I've been doing with my humours. Well, I've one humour in particular, my yellow bile. You can see now I've got it to 50, and that was from the two foods for yellow bile that I showed you: sizzled slugs and roasted pine nuts. Just them two foods I managed to get it to 50, which means all the other foods I showed you will easily get you to 50 in the other humours as well. But having said that, of course, as we're opening up more and more of the game, foods are becoming more and more diverse, and this is still at the raw levels without cooking them into meals and recipes, just eating them as we grow them. Like carrots give us 8 into our phlegm, our blue bar, so mixing carrots with acorns, myrtle acorns and other blue raw foods, you can see that once we get to 50, then we can start heading towards our next target. But of course I need to try the deer. I'm going to stop raising my humours once I have the capacity to kill deer. The only reason I'm raising my yellow bile is to get to the stage of being able to kill a deer. Anyway, let's look then at this. I wanted to show you you know about the vegetables that you can grow, mushrooms and other plants or flowers. Well, here's the sunflower. Now normally you'll get these normal sunflowers, but occasionally, rarely, you'll get this giant sunflower. So let's pick it and show you. Okay, so if we hover over it, you can see, check out the stats on that. That's one reason why it's worth growing sunflowers. As you can see, we're getting 3,200 into stocks and cultivars and 2,800 into sparks and embers. Wow, we aren't going to be needing flaming pine cones soon. Even sugar and spice 1,700 and faith and wisdom. So some fantastic stats you get from that giant sunflower. So you can be sure I'm going to be growing a load more sunflowers. And you can see that my gardening's getting on nicely. I'm not rushing anything here. I'm just gradually building up my claim. And as you can see, this little area here is dedicated to my gardening. Of course though, I'm going to spread the gardening eventually all the way across this clay. And one other thing I'm decided I'm going to do, I'm going to expand my deed out to about here. Not only then can I get double the amount of fish traps, shellfish traps, but this is all more room for my gardening. Because I love gardening, but more importantly I want to be able to get all the foods, so we can start to work out exactly what foods can do what humours. And once we've got all the raw vegetables and other mushrooms and other stuff that we can use, then we can start to work out exactly what recipes to use them in as well. Now in here I've been boiling up some mushrooms to remove the poison, although the morels don't seem like they need to be boiled. Even though they go into the pot, they've been in this fire now for hours and there's no grey bar around them, so I presume these don't have to be boiled to be eaten. Gobbled, that is. So okay, that was a little experiment I was doing. Right, okay, so that's all of that. Let's get on to what the episode's actually about. Oh, one other quick thing to mention to you. Notice that, and this is important to mention this to you on your progress of your claim. Notice now I've got 5 compost heaps. I'm slowly incrementing compost heaps because of gardening, of course. Each of the flower pots, the gardening pots, requires 1 humus, so that's why I'm getting more compost heaps. I've got currently four turkey coops. I'm going to be building another turkey coop to make it 5, and I will be making another compost heap, no doubt, in the near future. How do I keep my turkey coops full up with food? I use purely cotton seeds at the moment. And something else I wanted to mention to you is I'm going to start growing cabbages and corn. So you'll see 2 strips here, one of cabbages and one of corn. Now the seeds that I get from my planting, the surplus seeds, I use purely for keeping the turkey coops full of food. For the compost heaps, I use the scales from pine cones, and also I use the occasional turkey, because a turkey gives you 10 if it's not a wild turkey. So what I've been doing, there's turkeys as I've been getting them from the coops, I leave them a day in a container and then they turn into dead domestic turkeys. And when you pluck that and when you pluck it, you get the meat. I can't remember where I put the meat, so I'll just have to take my word for it. When you pluck them, you get the meat. The meat is worth 10, so putting it into the compost heap bin, it will fill it up by 10. So that's a good way of keeping them full. Between them and the pine cone scales, I managed to keep all of my compost bins full. But I am trying to save some turkeys for when we get onto cooking, because I want to show you stuffing a turkey, as funny as that may sound. All in the aid of cooking, of course. So anyway, right, sorry about that. Lots and lots of waffling, but I wanted to just keep you abreast of all what I'm doing in my claim and how you can scale up slowly. Notice I don't add a dozen turkey coops. I'm slowly incrementing them. Anyway, right. Okay, so let's start on what this episode's about. First of all, we're going to build a Finery Forge. It does not have to be on paving. You can build it just as you're going to see. Now let's first grab some of the materials that we're going to need for this, and there's quite a few materials, trust me. We're going to need some planed boards, so let's show you first how to make the planed boards. I'm possibly not going to manage to make them because my skill is too low, but I'm going to show you at least how you try to make them. So here's the carpenter's bench that we made previously in an episode. You right click on that, we then go to craft, and it's a processing and materials, and then in there you'll see planed board. Okay, you'll notice to make a planed board we need either dry boards or warped boards, so I'm going to try with dry boards. So I'm going to click create all. Now we're probably going to fail with all of them. Yeah, there you go, it's turned into wood chippings, but even they're useful for farming, for the fields, so nothing's wasted. I don't care about these doing that. As my skills improve, our success chance will go up as we improve. Oh look, I actually managed to get one. Hallelujah. So there we go. You can. Oh wow, I've got 2 in a row. Will it be free? So, yeah, cool. So we got 3 planed boards. Now up here, one of these, the higher you get the skill, the more success you'll have. That's fishing. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Increasing your value in hammer and nail will increase the number of boards that can be obtained from a single log. Oh, okay, maybe it's not that. Anyway, one of them down here improves your chances at, oops, let's grab these, improves your chances at creating planed boards or woodworking in general. So there we go, we got 3 planed boards. We're going to need 9, and we're also going to need 3 for the trip hammer. But anyway, for now let's show you the materials that we will be needing to do this. So we go to build, and buildings and structures, metalworking structures, and the Finery Forge we're going to do first of all. So that's what it looks like. Now what we're going to do, if you press the left shift key, you can use the mouse wheel to then scroll the direction. Remember, with the Finery Forge you have to keep the free pumps, bellows. Can you see the free bellows either side of it? They have to be completely free of obstructions. So that coal pile to the right is going, because it's going to be, well, it's not obstructing, but it is going to be in my way. So that's where I will be placing it, just there. Now here's the materials we're going to need. Yep, a load. So let's start grabbing them. That's the biggest one to start with, 75 stones. Now fortunately I've been storing them all up in preparation for this episode. No doubt I'm going to have forgot something in my normal style, or lack of, but for now let's just empty out what we don't need. Okay, so it's basically 5 large urns and 5 more in the 6th urn will give you 75 stones. You see, we're getting on to major building projects now, so the material cost is jumping up. But this, how cool is this? Once we get all of this done, I'm going to show you how to make your own wrought iron bars. No more buying them for 1,100 silver. I can understand why they charge so much, by the way, because you're going to see, you're going to understand why. Once I mean, look at the process that you have to go through. But once the Finery Forge and the trip hammer are built, then it's happy days. Okay, let's see if I can still move. Yep, just about. Okay, so let's go down here. Let's now click on close that. Let's go to build, buildings, metalworking, Finery Forge, and I'm going to put it there. Yep, that's a good place. Okay, so holding down the left shift, just mouse wheel to scroll all 75 stones in nice and quickly. There we go. Let's start building. Cool. Wow, this is going to take a while to build. Remember as well, doing this whole process, to have food with you. As silly as it may sound, you may think when you get onto doing the wrought iron bars you aren't going to need food. Yes, you are. And if you don't, it will stop the process and you'll lose your progress. So make sure you've got plenty of food on you as you when you go to start making your wrought iron bars. Cool, I'll be glad when this is built. Well, once we have access to wrought iron bars, I believe we can actually start making our own metal tools. So we'll be able to make our alts, pickaxes, axes and shovels. I mean, I'm guessing here, but I shall take a look at that once I've got some wrought iron bars in a large urn. Notice, at least for the Finery Forge, all the items, it's not like it's normally been for every single thing we normally make, where we have to go to the market and go and buy loads of different items. All of these items in this list, you all know now, you can easily make. Yes, the plain boards will be difficult to start with, but if you listened to me previously and did 3 or 4 timber piles, then you're going to have plenty of dry boards. Always have at least 2 piles of dry boards on the go. Always have 2 timber piles on the go. Right, okay, so that's that done. Next, let's get the free iron. Oh, and some leather, and let's get the rest of the planed boards. Let's do them. So yes, my yellow bar's now 50, so I'm going to guess who's going to be taking on a deer and seeing if I can defeat it. What I will do though is I'm going to make loads and loads of birch bark origamis to use up my inspiration, because I know the deer's going to do me again. I just know it, and I don't want to waste all that inspiration. So what I am going to do, and if any of you are in the same situation where you've got lots of inspiration to burn, start pumping it into herbs and sprouts. We need to get that to 8,000. Why? Oh, we want to do cabbage growing, that's for sure. Why? Because down here in this list we want oh, I can't even remember what it's called now. Goodness sake. Whenever I try and look for something and I'm recording, it's like my brain refuses to work. Let's see if I can find it for you quickly. Forestry, there we go, that's what we want. So you see, herbs and sprouts 8,000, stocks and cultivars 4,500. Not as bad as the herbs and sprouts. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing, making a ton of birch bark origamis, and then I'm just going to be pumping them all into the herbs and sprouts to burn up all my inspiration. Okay, oops, I went a bit too far there. Okay, let's look for the rest of the materials. Here's the leather, here's the iron, and let's grab the bricks. Okay, that should be excuse me. See, it's in the Finery Forge that got in the way there. You can't see it yet, but it does block your way. Okay, let's put the iron in, the leather in, and the bricks in. Let's build our Finery Forge. It'll be interesting to see once I can make my own metal tools. When first tool I'm going to make, of course, is a shovel, and I'm going to see if it improves my terraforming. And then I'm going to make a wood axe and see if I can cut trees down quicker, because it takes so long to cut a tree down. I'm really hoping that the metal version of the tools will speed up the terraforming and the tree cutting, especially as I enjoy the terraforming so much. The whole area around me now is becoming flat and smooth, just like my chin. And there we go. There is our Finery Forge. So, like I say, make sure that you can get to each of the bellows easily. Like so. This side doesn't matter. It's just the three sides with the bellows. Them three there. Right, okay, that's built. Now we need to, no slacking here, now we need to build a trip hammer. So back into build, and buildings and structures and metalworking structures, and there we go, trip hammer. The trip hammer we will place just there. Yeah, that's good. We're going to need 5 iron bars, 2 nails and 3 more planed boards. Right, there's 3 planed boards. And 5 iron and 2 nails. Right, let's go build our trip hammer. Okay, so I'm going to face it that way because I believe that's the end I can use, and place it just there. Okay, let's put in all the items and build. Let's eat a bit of food. Now this is like a little mini game. You're going to like this. Okay, so we've got our Finery Forge, we've got our trip hammer, and we have all the skills necessary. The last thing we need, of course, is 1 bar of pig iron. You're going to do your bars one at a time. If there's 2 of you, excuse me, sorry about that. If there's 2 of you, one can operate the bellows and one of you can do the fuel. If you're on your own, you're going to do 1 bar at a time, and then it's not a problem. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, put your bar of iron in the Finery Forge. Just right click on it, shift click it in. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is fill it up with fuel, which is coal. So over here, let's do this. Yeah, I've done a load of coal piles in preparation, and I'll be doing a load more. Okay, let's do this, collect from here first. Oh, I love it when I get them. Unscathed wood. As you can see, 2,000 into hammer and nails, and 1,700 into law, and sparks and embers, and natural philosophy. So yeah, it's lovely getting them rare items. Of course, another good reason for getting your yellow bile up is you can carry lots, because you're going to need lots and lots of coal to do this. Now, I believe it's about 50 coal. I want to do an experiment so we know exactly how much coal it takes to do 1 bar of wrought iron. So let's just count how much we've got. So 49 coal there. Okay, let's shift right click on the Finery Forge to fill it up. Now I don't want to put that scathed wood in. So what I'm going to do is just quickly put that safely in a container. Because I don't want to lose that. Okay, so let's carry on putting the coal in. Right, that's filled up with fuel. If I right click, you can see now that's filled up. The bar on the right is the heat. When the bar on the right gets above 90%, only then will the pig iron start to heat up. All the time this right hand bar is over 90%, this will slowly, gradually start to turn into a blue. Now if you manage to get this right bar to 100%, that buys you time. In other words, if you're not getting to the bellows quick enough, or you've run out of fuel, it will give you then a bit of time to go and grab more fuel or operate the bellows, as long as it doesn't get under 90%. But I'm going to be showing you that. Now before we actually start doing that, we need to make some tongs. So to make tongs, we go to craft and tools and iron tongs. We're going to need 2 bars of pig iron, so let's grab them. Cool, I'm nearly out of iron. Okay, we're going to go to our anvil, right click on it and create. You need to have tongs and you need to have them in your tool belt for ease of use. Right, okay, we've got our tongs. Let's equip them in our tool belt. Oh, tool belt is now full. What can I discard? Oh, the woo woo. It's never done a lot for me. Right, okay, so we'll put the woo woo in there. We'll put the tongs in there. Okay, so make sure you load up your tongs in your tool belt. Okay, we filled up the Finery Forge with fuel. Now, the next thing we do, let's get rid of this woo woo wand. The next thing that we must do now is carry as much fuel as we can. So what I'm going to do is go to coal piles off of my claim because they'll start to rot, and I will collect as much as I can. Oh, this is nice. It's being very generous to me. Okay, that is definitely plenty. I've probably overdone it. I wanted to fill up urns with, I will do an experiment where I'll fill up the urns and let you know exactly how much coal it is, but suffice to say you should be able to carry 17 worth of weight, so empty out one whole coal pile. Right, okay, now that we've got the coal, let's drop off these 2 scaved woods in there. Okay, now that we've got the coal, what we now need to do, of course, is get a torch. So I've put it in there. Let's now get that ready to carry. We'll use the stove to light our torch. Okay, how much fuel have we got? Let's put some grass in. There we go. Right, okay, let's go light the Finery Forge and have some fun to create our bloom. Okay, so we've got our tongs, we filled up with fuel. The next thing to do is to light the Finery Forge. Now when I light it, let's zoom in a bit, you're going to see smoke coming out of these 3 chimney stacks. Now they will continually come out with smoke, but every now and again one of them will stop smoking. If this one stops smoking, you will see that I go to this bellows and start pumping it. It will do, once I right click on this bellow, it will start pumping, and when I finish pumping, this will start streaming smoke again. If this one stops smoking, I'll go to this bellow, and if this one stops smoking, I'll go to this bellow. The idea is you have to keep all 3 smoking. As long as you keep all 3 smoking, the heat will keep increasing, as I'm going to show you. So let's light the Finery Forge and let's get this going. Right, okay, let's close that. I normally stand about here near the middle. Whichever one stops is the one we're going to have to pump. Also, in between, keep right clicking, shift right clicking coal in. Right, the right one is gone. Let's go over there quick, right click on the bellows, and you see it starts pumping. When the action finishes, that will start smoking again, you see. Right click, let's see how much heat we're getting. Little bit of heat, put in more coal, keep adding the coal. Do not forget to do that. Okay, let's go stand here, ready for the next one, and luck would have it, it's this one. The quicker you can catch it, the less heat you'll lose. There we go, caught it. Let's check the progress. Yep, it's still there. Put in more fuel. Okay, go stand here, wait for it again to finish, or one of them to stop. Oops, this one. You see, it's not too much of a mad panic, but you do have to keep your eye on the ball. Okay, let's fill it with more coal. Let's check the heat. Now when the heat starts to get to about there, I won't be filling it with any more coal. Ah, yeah, I know. You got to get round the tail end of it, by the way. Oh, typical that the alarm would be going. Okay, remember to eat. Notice my blue bar was going down. Remember to keep filling it with coal. Okay, let's check the heat. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, best to stand at the, get to the ends of the bellows. Oops, this one now. Okay, there we go. Heat's still going up, fill with more coal. Oh, middle one. Okay, check the heat. Fill with more coal. Middle one again. That's why I normally stand here, you see. And the logical mind among you will know it's equal distance to the others then, thereby increasing your odds. This is not difficult as long as you've got enough fuel with you and you're standing by it. It's actually fun, considering we're going to get an item that costs 1100 silver. Right, I'm going to stop filling it with fuel now, because you'll see that that will be enough now to keep it going. Oops, let's do that one quickly. There we go. Check the progress. In fact, I will fill it because I've not started turning into the bloom yet. Oops, this one over here. You see about the food, you definitely need a stack or two of food to do this. Let's fill it with coal again. I've probably used too much coal now, but it doesn't matter. As long as we get our wrought iron bar, that's all that matters. Okay, let's check the progress. Okay, see now it's started to, the timers, the greying out started to go because we've got it above 90%. Oh, this one. Let's check the progress. Okay, I'm not filling it anymore. That should be enough fuel to get that to a bloom. Now that it's gone above 90%, it's going to keep going as long as I keep the bellows up. Even if I miss a bellows now, I've still got a bit of time, because as long as it's over the 90% mark, as it is here, it's about 96% now, so I could let that cool down 4% and it will still be doing the bloom, because as long as it's over 90%. Okay, looking good. There you go, we're halfway there. And notice the fuel will be sufficient. Half and half. I bet you didn't think someone who could waffle so much would be able to do a wrought iron bar, because he'd be too busy waffling, but I contain my waffle. Now be careful as well when making your bloom that you don't leave the bar of pig iron in here too long. If you do, it will just go to dross. You know, once it turns into a bloom, if you don't take it out, it'll turn into a dross. You'll lose it. You'll waste everything that you've done. So always keep paying attention, and as soon as it turns into a bloom, which it nearly has, then grab it out. There you go. We have an iron bloom. Right, now what we do, we've got our tongs in our tool belt. pick it up on your cursor, right click on the trip hammer, and there you go. Look at this. How cool is that? I wish I'd have eaten though. I hope I don't get knocked out while showing you this. Big tip to you, eat before you start hammering the bloom. Ugh, I bet I'm going to run out of food. After all this, I didn't pay attention to my food level. You can't right click on your food while you're doing this, so I can't eat. Oh, too low on phlegm. I was on 90 something percent, 96%. Let's wait for that to go up a bit. Come on. Right, that should hopefully be enough. Let's try again. Oh, and I got a dross. The reason I got a dross is because I let it cool down because I didn't have enough food. Let that be a lesson to you. That is just unbelievably annoying. But you know what? I know the timer's gone, but I am going to show you doing a wrought iron bar. Let's try it again. You can always stop the video because you can see now how to do it, but I want to show at least one bar done on camera. So what I'll do it the right way this time. Let's put my iron bar in. I don't care that I wasted one, that's hardly any big deal. The only problem I'll have is finding an empty container to put this dross in. Ah, there we go. Let's get rid of the dross. Don't want to waste my weight. Right, okay, let's just grab a stack of coal again. Let's grab a stack from one off of my claim. Right, okay. Oh, nice. Look at all the unscathed wood I've just got. Right, okay, I've got my iron in there. Let's first fill up the Finery Forge. Let's see if it does chew up my scathed wood. No, it doesn't. Cool. Okay, I'm going to definitely need more coal than that, so let's just put that in there, and let's go grab some more coal. Can't believe I wasted that last bar. Ugh, could kick myself. At least I've shown you the mistake you can make. Probably you didn't need to be shown it, but I'm happy to show you mistakes to stop you making them. Right, okay, definitely got plenty of coal. I mean, it's overkill again. Notice I had too many last time, but as long as I'm not overweight, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you're not walking slowly, and that you eat enough, and don't be a fool and let your food run out. And then your bloom cools down, and then it turns to dross. Right, okay, so we've put the iron bar in, we filled up the Finery Forge, time to go and light it again.
so cross with myself for being so silly. Right, okay, so let's get the torch burning. Let's go back and try again. Sorry about this being such a long episode, but this is something that I've noticed has not been shown much on the internet. So here you go, you've been shown it in full detail. Right, okay, you know the score and what we've got to do. And I'm not going to make the same mistake again, I hope. Yeah, I'm getting there. I just had a feeling it was going to be this side. Okay, we are getting there again. See, it definitely pays to stand here. There is no other place really logically you should be standing. Definitely there. And as you can see, you're going to burn through a ton of coal. So make sure you've done lots of coal piles, because you will be needing lots of wrought iron bars. Well, I'm getting to them quite quickly, the bellows, as you can see. Okay, how are we doing? Heat is good. Fuel is good. And it should be heating up soon. Yeah, it should be starting soon. Yep, there we go. And off it goes. That should be enough fuel. I'm not going to waste the coal.
I'm going to waste food though this time. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Halfway there, fuel is fine, easily enough to finish this. And as long as I remember to eat this time, we should be good. Keep my food at full, in fact. Okay, should be one more action, I believe. Maybe one more. And that should be it. Yep, there we go. Right, this time food is nearly full, so we come over here, click the iron bloom, right click the trip hammer. This time you're going to see a wrought iron bar being made. Perseverance and patience pays off. If you mess up like I did, don't let it get you down. It doesn't matter, it's all easy enough to do again. But the immense satisfaction of getting your first bar of wrought iron, knowing that that's worth 1100 silver, is definitely worth the pain. Oh yeah, and there we go, 1 bar of wrought iron. Right, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to look into all the different things we can now make, although I know what it is that we're going to do next. We're going to be burning through lots of inspiration as we get higher in level. It's far long overdue, us making the next experience potions. That is what the next episode is going to be on. Us making the next level of experience potions. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. I hope you've enjoyed this episode on me first bungling and then successfully making a wrought iron bar for you. Goodbye.